Another day, another story. What is Six-Day War? The Six-Day War was a brief but intense conflict fought between Israel and its neighboring Arab states, namely Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, in June 1967. The war lasted for just 6 days, from June 5 to June 10, and resulted in a decisive victory for Israel. Tensions between Israel and its Arab neighbors had been high for years, with several border skirmishes and military confrontations taking place in the late 1940s and early 1950s. In 1956, Israel had invaded the Sinai Peninsula in a coordinated attack with Britain and France in response to Egypt's nationalization of the Suez Canal. However, the United States and the Soviet Union pressured Israel to withdraw, and the conflict ended in a ceasefire. In the following years, Arab states continued to call for the destruction of Israel and for the return of Palestinian territories occupied by Israel in the 1948 war. Tensions escalated in May 1967 when Egypt expelled UN peacekeeping forces from the Sinai Peninsula and mobilized its military near the Israeli border. Syria also moved troops to the Golan Heights, and Jordan signed a mutual defense pact with Egypt. On June 5, 1967, Israel launched a surprise attack on Egypt's air force, destroying most of its planes on the ground. Israel then turned its attention to Jordan and Syria, launching an attack on the West Bank and East Jerusalem and the Golan Heights, respectively. Despite being outnumbered, Israel's military quickly gained the upper hand, inflicting heavy losses on the Arab armies. Within 6 days, Israel had captured the Sinai Peninsula, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, the Gaza Strip, and the Golan Heights. The immediate cause of the war was a combination of factors, including the expulsion of UN peacekeeping forces, the closure of the Straits of Tiran to Israeli shipping, and the mobilization of Arab armies along Israel's borders. These actions were seen by Israel as a threat to its security and a violation of international law. Another factor that contributed to the outbreak of the war was the growing arms race between Israel and its Arab neighbors. Egypt, in particular, had been receiving large amounts of military aid from the Soviet Union, and had built up a formidable military force that was capable of threatening Israel's existence. The war began on June 5, 1967, with Israel launching a surprise attack on Egypt's air force. In the first few hours of the conflict, Israel destroyed most of Egypt's planes on the ground, giving it air superiority over the entire region. With air superiority established, Israel then turned its attention to the ground war, launching a series of attacks on Egyptian, Syrian, and Jordanian forces. The Israeli army quickly overran Egyptian positions in the Sinai Peninsula, and then turned its attention to the West Bank and East Jerusalem, which were then under Jordanian control. After capturing the West Bank and East Jerusalem, Israel also captured the Golan Heights, which were then under Syrian control. Within 6 days, Israel had achieved a stunning victory, capturing territory 3 times its size and defeating 3 Arab armies. Consequences of the war. The Six-Day War had a profound impact on the Middle East, reshaping the political and military landscape of the region. For Israel, the war marked a turning point in its history, as it gained control of significant territories and established itself as a regional superpower. However, the war also created new problems for Israel, as it now had to manage a large population of Palestinian Arabs living in the occupied territories. The war also had broader geopolitical consequences, as it increased tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union, which were then engaged in a global struggle for power and influence. The war also led to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, who became refugees in neighboring Arab countries. The Six-Day War was a significant victory for Israel, which had expanded its territory and strengthened its position in the region. The war also sparked a new wave of Palestinian nationalism, leading to ongoing conflicts between Israel and Palestinians over land and resources. International reactions to the war were mixed, with the United States and some European countries supporting Israel's actions, while the Soviet Union and Arab states condemned them. The war also marked a significant turning point in the Middle East, as it led to the formation of the Palestinian Liberation Organization and increased tensions between Israel and its Arab neighbors, setting the stage for future conflicts. Thanks for watching.